First and foremost, we dry the chicken. Second thing, we have extra fat here on the front. Whereas if we're going to fabricate it, I don't really want all that. First thing on my tray. Second thing, to find the wishbone, there's a bone here, bone here, bone here. Okay? Take the knife, make the incision. Now I'm only holding it up just so you guys can see where I'm cutting at. I'm right on top of the bone. Okay? Now that gives me these two little slits where I can put my fingers, you know, on either side. Cutting the outside of where that bone is will allow you to free the wishbone. Now you see it looks like little fangs from a snake, right? I'll take my knife and I'm not cutting into the breast per se. I'm just riding the bone just with the tip of my knife, just like that. The other sides I'm pushing down with my fingers. I'm just like pushing the meat away from the bone. Just so I don't break it. I want to free it from the flesh. Okay? Wishbone. Now that we have the bird, and again, sometimes it's kind of raggedy. You can't always protect it. You can't always protect the skin really nicely, but you do your best you can. So, now we're going to do the wing. I always make sure I do that whole thing like I'm laying on the beach. The more that you do it, it's funny, it's weird. It'll just connect to your brain. I mean, you'll be laughing at me, oh yeah, Chef Jones is really a character. Later on, that vision of me doing this thing, you're going to have the epiphany and you're going to be cutting one day and it'll become second nature. It'll be so fast, you'll go, wow. Now that makes sense. Okay? From the breast. So this cut is always away from your breast. Like I was doing the little dance, little deal like this. It's away from the breast. Here, away. So I'll always start from in here and go out this way to do the actual fabrication. Down, right into the cartilage. You don't want to cut the bone off. Just go into the cartilage. I take it with my thumb, flip the bird over. See that movement? Push it down, knife free. Right? To do the other side. Obviously I've turned the chicken around so that I could do it really nicely, but you can see it's very nice and clean. Okay? You may have a little cartilage right here. If so, just take your blade and just go right around or just make an incision and that'll come down, no problem. Let's do the other one. Again, knife down into the cartilage. Not all the way through the cartilage. You don't need to like jam it in there. Take it, thumb in place to the cartilage. Flip it down, over, pull it down. Sometimes a little harder to do it slow than this, so just do it fast. There's your other wing. Both bones are now Frenched. You got that? Easy, right? Well, it looks easy. Okay, next thing. Let me grab my stick. When we're doing the leg, start on this side first, and I don't know why I choose this side. Maybe just because I don't like to cross my hands when I'm cutting per se. Right down, close to the leg. Make my first incision. There's going to be a little bit of membrane right here. See that membrane? I always cut through Cut that right off. Free it up. Just like that. Turn my leg over. Now, the dimples in your back, right beneath them is the oyster. So like you have the cutesy little dimples, and then right beneath them are this little round piece of meat. When I have made my incision, I'm right here. I need to be right here. See those dimples? I make my incision, even if I just make a cut, so I know where it is. I'll flip it over, I'll make the cut. So now I'm remembering where it is. Have not cracked it yet, so I'll go down, take that fat. So now I just cut the fat. I break the joint. Joint, socket, I open it. Good? When I open it right here, in this little area right here, let me pull it back a little bit more. See that? That's one part of it, but you see this right there? It's a little scoop. Show you, I'm going to put my finger in it just so you can see it. Put my finger, my thumb right in there. Right here. See that? That's the oyster. You see that little blade bone? That'd be like your hip bones. That's what that little dent is. So now that I stuck my finger in there, I could basically take it and I could rip it all off. It'll come right off. But being a professional, you don't want to rip it off. You want to have your thumb in there, make sure it's free, take your knife and go right into it like such, and then come right down without cutting your hand. A lot of you left this bone attached to here. We don't want that. We just want that piece of meat. We want that, okay? Because the rest of this scrap is going to go where? Stock. Okay? But you want the oyster. So once you have it off, if you want the extra skin for your fabrication, you can use it. But now we have that cut, nice and clean. Do the other side. Again, skin, we want it closer to here. Our incision, we want to go closer to the leg, just like that. I'm going to cut through the membrane to make it clean, right? I'm going to come to the back, connect where the skin was. Pop the joint, so basically you just, your thumb, pulling it back, right? Now you can see, again, here we have what? The oyster. It goes down, here's the bone, it goes down and flat. So when we go in to get it, that's why I say use your thumb. You want to go in, get it all out, and then make your cut down. So your cut is right here, straight down. There's that little area that we wanted to free up. Once you free that area up, take it off, oyster, okay? Now we're good to go. Same amount of skin, a little bit of meat on there, and I put it here just so you can do each and every one of them, and then we'll put it all on the tray and you have all your pieces. It'll make sense. Cool? Cool? Sorry. Going through puberty, my voice has changed. Told you I was 21. People call me old. I'm gonna hold that against you. Okay, here we go. So right on top, make our incision. I know, right? Yeah. That's what happens when your parents keep you in the house. Well, my knife is not really that sharp right now, so I apologize. I gotta talk to you guys about it. My knife is sharp. We'll give it a quick whack. That's what happens. You don't spend time shopping in your bed. So here we go. Got the breast on either side. Now remember, there's that little nestle of meat that was behind the wishbone, right? So the first piece that we take off, no problem, we'll go straight down. Straight down like such. The one pitfall is you do not want to take off what? The wing. No, not just the tenderloin. We don't want to take off the wing because the wing is down there. You know, the winglet is still on. So I always free the back first. And then I come right up here to where the winglet is so that I have a nice supreme breast. This would be your airline breast. Okay? If you wanted to trim it up, you could trim it up. Make it as nice as you wanted it. Keep all our nice skin right there. Okay? And that should be sticking up all the time. That should be its thing. The other one, there's that nestle of meat right there. It's right here on you. I'm going to go down the other side, like such. Straight down. On this side right here, because that bone comes in, I always free that. See that? That's a whole, almost a whole ½ ounce of meat right there. So I always make sure that I do that. And then I come down with my fabrication, same way. Straight down, straight down. Okay? Now I have a nice, clean carcass. I have another airline. Whereas when you're doing this, you could pick whichever one is the best one for your presentation. Okay? Take my excess fat off because I don't want it. Keep that over there. And now I have another airline. Now, to change and give us all of our cuts, I can now just take off my little drumstick. So I've made 2 cuts in one. I don't have to work hard for that little nice little drumette there, which is an appetizer. In this class, we used to have the students make a menu at the end of it. They had to cost the menu item and talk about how they would do after their fabrication. Tenderloin intact. Cool, okay? For the sake of your pictures, I'm going to make you remember it by taking the tenderloin off. So now we have airline, we have supreme, we have carcass, we have tenderloin, okay? Each and every piece. Excuse me. Let's go to the next one. This joint right here, when you bend your leg, you know how you have kneecap, right? In the old days, we used to have a thing that we do called kneecapping. We play football and whatever, but growing up in Chicago is a little different. Didn't fight fair. Kneecap a dude. You've been in martial arts, I'll tell you that. You don't want to mess around with your opponent. Break their kneecap. Soccer too. Yeah, same idea. Yep, played soccer for a good while. So right here is how you figure out, is one way how you figure out where to cut to have a clean cut. The other way you figure it out, you see that fat line? How thicker fat and then it's thin right there? Natural seam. That's the natural seam of where you cut. Okay? So if you're cutting from this angle, you could literally go. See? It's clean. These are the little things that you have to focus on that I have ingrained in my brain, so when I'm fabricating it looks so easy. Oh my God, how does he do that? It's because of that focus, right? Understanding the anatomy. So now, we're going to take it and do our tulip. Go inside, and I'm just going to pull this meat back. Just want the meat to be trimmed back a little bit. Go in, get the bone, go under the bone and that cartilage. Lightly, you can either pull it down with a paper towel or you can just go around it, kind of scrape it down. This becomes my thigh, whereas, and somebody was asking me this yesterday, so I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to take the skin off. And show you what you could do with this. So, I have my skin. The skin will snap back if I don't treat it right. This fat right here, take that right off. Here I have what we consider to be our manchoner. So, or our tulip. So, we take the tulip. If I want the tulip to be nice and clean, I just pull the cartilage off of it like that. If I want to stuff it, I could take this meat right here. I'm going to just show you. These are some of the things that help many of my restaurants to make a lot of cash. Because I could take cheap items or inexpensive items, kind of like this, and I make them my own. I normally do it with paper, just so that I don't get so crazy with it as to damage it. Now, I would take whatever item I wanted. Let's say that this is our farce. Roll it up together. Put the skin back on it. Take me a string, tie it. So whereas in something like this, if I have a bunch of leg and thighs at home, I could do it two ways. I have this one that I would tie up really nice. If I didn't have the skin, that would be okay, because I would just take thin pieces of chicken that I would pound and I would wrap it and stuff it like that. I would tie it up like a little bundle. It would sit like this, okay, on the inside. Maybe feta cheese, maybe goat cheese and spinach, pine nuts, whatever I wanted, right? And I would sit them all on the tray like this. Sit them on the tray just like that. And I'll finish tying it in a minute. So I have that one part, manchoner. I got the other part right here. Go down, go into the cartilage just like we've been doing. See how I'm in the cartilage? Take that bone or the cartilage on top of it, pull it back, pull it down. One movement. All of this, these tendons that are here come off real easy. No tendons. Okay? And there's my leg. And because we cut it so good, oh wait a minute, before you take that. Because we cut it so good on the straight end, it presents really well. Okay? Next one. Leg and thigh, the one we stuff. Cut right down on top of the bone. Always be right on top of the bone. Always right there. Go under it. And depending on how well you fabricate the end over here, you have cartilage on it or you may not. So you have to get better with those individual things. So I'm going to take some of the meat down. I'm going to go all the way down just lightly with the tip of my knife. You notice that mostly it's all about the tip of my knife. When I get down to this part where that kneecap is, I'm just lightly scoring, going around it without cutting through all the meat and everything that's down here. I want to just get around this cartilage like such. See? again, you can do it faster. So now I have all of this cut back, and I'm ready to do what now? Nobody's answering it.
The rest of the
I want to move this bone out of there. I want this bone away. So I go around. Two methods. You can either cut it right here, take it off, like that. Now you have the thigh that's boned out, but you still have what?
The leg.
So we take it, fold it back, make an incision around it, right around the bone. See how I'm doing that? Right around, all the way around like that. Once I do that, I'm exposing that bone now. Right? You can expose it as far as you want to. The one thing that you want to make sure that you do is you want to get a good cut. Now, I used my Chinese cleaver the other day, which is fine. Typically, if it's on an angle like that, you're not going to get a solid cut. Normally, when you have something like this, you take the end of it, bring it to the end of your table to where it's flat, whack it. That way it's clean, you won't have any bone fragments. Take it back. Now you have a leg that you can stuff, but it looks just like as if it still had the bone in it. Yes, ma'am?
So what I did yesterday was wrong because I deboned the whole thing.
Yeah, you took this little piece out. You leave that because that ends up being the structure of the leg.
That's why it was falling apart.
Yeah. And the part that you stuff, you can stuff it from the leg here all the way out. You could take this part right here if you wanted to, put it in between the paper, pound it lightly to kind of explode this meat all over, and then you still have the skin to where you could go ahead and saute it, but it's stuffed, and then when you put it on the, right before you put it on the plate, allowing it to rest for 5 minutes, you can go ahead and slice it and make your dish. Okay? So when you have your practical exam next time, this is what I want. There's also stomach lining that we could use to actually make this. Does anybody know what the name of that is? Huh?
Oh, the name of
Not haggis.
No.
Haggis is a dish. It's
It's
called caul fat. It's the outside lining of the stomach. Looks like a big spider web. Caul fat. Okay? Stomach membrane. You can wrap this in the stomach membrane. It would act just like a skin. You can brown it. It will stick to the meat. You can flavor it, season it. It's edible. Okay?
Is it as thick as or thicker than the chicken skin?
Thinner. It's like pastry. Any questions?